Hey YouTube, how's it going? Well, it's been a while since I've made a video. I hope this light, I don't know, maybe this is better. There we go. Well, I wanted to call you, not call you, I'm totally not with it. Tell you how my experience is going with my manifesting. I just came back from vacation in New Mexico, and at our motel there was a van, and it was a zoo van, and funny thing, on the back of it, it had a picture of a giraffe and it said Africa. So that was kind of neat. Nothing, no major thing, but I feel like I can't even think now what they've been, but just little things that have come along that I feel like were probably because, I did the whole Africa manifestation thing. But anyway, this is a hot, lovely day in western Oklahoma, and I'm in the comfort of my air-conditioned living room. I'm not out. I just watered. But something I kind of wanted to talk about was maybe having some kind of a creative challenge. And that can mean a lot of different things. Like, what do you do on a daily basis to be creative? Do you do it on a weekly basis? Do you do it on an hour? It doesn't matter. And it does. A lot of people think if they don't sew, they don't decorate, they don't do this or do that, they're not creative. That's totally not true. You may be an accomplished musician, but you can't sew a straight line or draw a straight line. So what? Doesn't matter. But kind of what I wanted to talk about, creativity for me is a way to kind of get back to center and relax if I'm burdened by a lot of stuff. Going on vacation, you kind of get away from everything. You're able to forget about the daily things that confront you, that you have to deal with. Bills, family issues, financial, whatever. And so you come home and you're still kind of on that high, but, it kind of peters out after a while. But the thing I'm trying to work at is not letting it totally. I recently, well, not recently, but one of the best books I ever read that was a nonfiction book was by a man named Dr. Joe Dispenza. He's on YouTube. And he talks a lot about how your mind and your thought patterns and your habitual thinking affects you. We do the same thing every day. We park in the same parking spot. We go the same way to work. We make our bed first thing in the morning. We're creatures of habit. And he talks about when you break those habits, do something just a little bit different, everything will change. Now, sometimes it takes about 6 weeks for a new habit. But I noticed one thing he said in one of his videos I watched recently was bringing everything to the center. Like when you've got everything around you going, and how things can be overpowering at times, like your thoughts. Focus on what's around you. And he said it's hard. And so I've been trying to do that because certain things will trigger, worries. And then it just goes on, and it gets bigger than a mountain, what if? I play that game a lot. Things I can't control. But the book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, is the one that I have that he wrote, is amazing. And he kind of compared, thought patterns kind of like an addiction. And so I'm working at that. So I guess what this is about is to do something creatively to kind of help you adapt to the other problems. Instead of getting so lost in your problems, try to bring it back to something you like to do. Now, for me, I thought it would be fun to go through my journals because I have tons of tips and ideas, and just pick something out and try it for a week. Or, whatever. It doesn't have to be a week, or if you want to do 2 or 3 things, it's just kind of whatever. But I thought it would be fun. And so what I wanted to do was go through my journal and pick something out and just work on that. Because what it does, you're focused on something. And, a lot of people think this is really weird. What are you talking about? Well, they can turn off my channel. I'm not forcing this on anybody. This is just something fun. And I would love to hear any comments of something you do. Surely there's people that do this kind of thing, take on these creative challenges. One thing I came across in my journal was vintage desserts. I had that written. So I thought, okay, for a week, what if I would look up vintage desserts and just try to make them, you know? And for me, I'm sure there's a certain definition of what's considered vintage. But I felt like anything, say, from maybe the 70s back, you know, I guess the 80s and 90s might be considered. I don't know. And you could do that. But I have some really old cookbooks, and I think it'd be fun to go through there and fix some of those, even some of those recipes that were kind of trendy or fun for the time. Um, Although it's very hot here in western Oklahoma now, so baking, you know, if I do anything that requires an oven, I may have to do that early in the morning. But anyway, I thought it might be fun to kind of share some ideas, and if I would love a video response, that would even be better yet, because I get a lot of ideas even from YouTube. I mean, but it can be anything. So let's look. I don't know if for sure how to, you know, turn this around where you can see what I'm doing. Hold on. No, that didn't do anything. So I don't know. I may have to use that for another video. I don't know. I'm sitting here going a lot. But why don't I continue this in another video, and we'll see kind of what's going on, and we'll talk through it. And that would be better than me going to my face, to the book, back and forth, because maybe people aren't like me, but like I said, that kind of makes me sick at my stomach, and I don't want to make anybody sick. So we'll see how it goes, and I'll get back to you in my next video. Bye-bye.